Victor Newman's trap. Over with Victor, he tries to set another trap for Kane. The patriarch might try to strategize with Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, as well. The weekly spoilers state that Jack and Victor do end up making a deal. The Young and the Restless, Victor Newman's trap. In the chessboard of Genoa City, no one plays the game better than Victor Newman. For decades, the mustache himself has maneuvered allies, enemies, and even family members with a master's touch. When Victor sets a plan in motion, the ripple effects change the city's landscape, leaving others scrambling to catch up. Now, whispers around Newman Enterprises and murmurs in the shadows suggest that Victor has set yet another trap, one that promises to ensnare his rivals, challenge his children, and reassert his dominance as the ultimate puppet master. But the question burning in every fan's mind is simple: who is Victor targeting this time, and will his trap backfire in a way even he cannot control? Victor has built his empire on strategy, cunning, and the ability to anticipate moves before anyone else sees them coming. Whether it was in the boardroom or in the battlefield of family disputes, Victor has never hesitated to pull strings, manipulate outcomes, and ensure that he remains 2 steps ahead. His traps are legendary, and often cloaked in layers of deception so intricate that his prey never realizes they've been caught until it's too late. This latest scheme has all the hallmarks of a Newman masterpiece. It is patient, calculated, and designed to expose weaknesses that his enemies have tried to conceal. Speculation is rife about who has fallen into Victor's crosshairs. Some believe that his target is Adam Newman, his own son, who has once again tried to carve out independence from his father's overwhelming shadow. Adam has always been the rebel in the Newman family, the one who both craves Victor's approval and resents it in equal measure. If Victor has set a trap for Adam, it may be a brutal test of loyalty, one that forces Adam to choose between his ambition and his family. Fans know this father-son relationship has been one of the most volatile in the show's history, and a fresh trap could reignite old wounds and open up new battles. Others whisper that Victor's trap is aimed at Jack Abbott. The Abbott-Newman rivalry is as old as Genoa City itself, a saga of betrayal, corporate sabotage, and personal vendettas. If Victor has uncovered evidence that Jack or even Diane Jenkins has been undermining Newman Enterprises, then it's entirely possible that he has set a trap to lure Jack into making a mistake. Victor thrives on putting his rivals in vulnerable positions, and if Jack takes the bait, the Abbott family could once again find themselves at Victor's mercy. Imagine Jill Abbott getting drawn in too, if Chancellor Winters is somehow implicated. The fallout would be seismic. But the possibility also lingers that Victor's trap is not for his enemies at all, it's for his own family. Victor has never been shy about testing his children. He has put Nick, Victoria, and Adam through trials designed to prove their loyalty, their strength, and their ability to protect the Newman legacy. Could this trap be Victor's way of forcing Victoria to re-examine her decisions at Newman Enterprises? Could he be testing Nick's moral compass or Adam's endurance in the face of betrayal? A Newman trap often serves multiple purposes, ensnaring outsiders while also strengthening the family dynasty by exposing who can be trusted. The beauty of Victor's traps lies in their unpredictability. He often appears to extend an olive branch, only to yank it away at the last moment, revealing the true purpose behind his actions. He builds trust only to dismantle it, setting the stage for dramatic confrontations. Genoa City veterans know that whenever Victor seems to be softening, it is usually the calm before the storm. His charm, his patience, and his calculated pauses are all part of the performance. By the time his victim realizes what has happened, they are already trapped in a web that only Victor controls. There is also the lingering possibility that Victor's latest trap ties into corporate espionage. Newman Enterprises has always been a target for rivals, opportunists, and schemers. Could Victor have orchestrated a scenario designed to flush out a mole, a traitor within the company? Perhaps someone close to the Newman boardroom has been leaking information to competitors. If Victor has set a trap to identify and expose the betrayer, then the reveal will send shockwaves through the business community of Genoa City. Who would dare betray Victor? And what will happen when they are unmasked? Fans have seen time and again that Victor's traps are not just about revenge, they are about control. For Victor, control is power, and power is survival. The stakes are higher than ever because Victor is not just fighting for his company, he is fighting to maintain his place as the patriarch, the legend, and the man whose name commands respect. But control comes at a cost, and the danger in setting traps is that they can sometimes ensnare the trapper himself. Could Victor's latest scheme backfire, catching him in a situation that even he cannot manipulate his way out of? That possibility is what keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. The emotional layers of this storyline run deep. For Victor's children, discovering they have been part of a test or manipulation can feel like betrayal. For his rivals, falling into his trap often means humiliation, financial loss, or personal devastation. For Nikki Newman, his devoted yet long-suffering wife, another trap may mean another round of conflict, where she is forced to question the lengths her husband will go in the name of protecting his empire. The trap isn't just about strategy, it's about the human fallout, the relationships that will fracture, and the trust that will be shattered. Social media is already ablaze with fan theories. Some viewers believe Victor is targeting Audra Charles, the ambitious newcomer who has been weaving her own web of power plays. Others suggest that Victor's trap may involve Sally Spectra, perhaps testing her connection to either Nick or Adam. And still others think the trap might even tie back to old ghosts from the past, such as a hidden player who has returned to Genoa City under the radar. No matter which theory proves true, the anticipation is electrifying. Ultimately, Victor Newman's trap is more than just a storyline, it is a reminder of why Victor remains the heart of the young and the restless. He is ruthless, brilliant, and unyielding. His traps are as much about psychology as they are about strategy, forcing those around him to confront their own desires, fears, and weaknesses. In Genoa City, the trap is never just about the prey, it's about the power of the man who set it. As this arc unfolds, one thing is certain, the fallout will be explosive. Families will be divided, alliances will be shattered, and new rivalries will be born. Victor Newman has proven time and again that he cannot be underestimated. And this time, his trap could change everything. Claire Grace Newman's bold move. We will also see Claire make a bold move. It sounds like she will decide to take that trip after all. She could tell Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, about Holden Novak's, Nathan Owen's, proposition. That might explain why Claire and Victoria are together in the upcoming Los Angeles scenes. Perhaps Claire won't go with Holden alone, and suggests her mother tag along. What is this? Or, maybe Victoria chases her daughter after learning troubling information about Holden's history? The young and the restless, Claire Grace Newman's bold move. In a city built on secrets, betrayals, and sudden power shifts, every action carries weight, and every decision can alter the future of Genoa City. Now, the spotlight shines brightly on Claire Grace Newman, a young woman whose journey from villain to redemption has kept fans glued to their screens. Once dismissed as a pawn in a twisted game, Claire has since emerged as a figure of strength, resilience, and emotional complexity. But her latest choice, her bold move, has the potential to shake not only her own life but also the balance of power within the Newman family. Viewers are already buzzing about what this means for Claire, for the Newmans, and for the future of those who underestimated her. Claire's story has been one of the most dramatic arcs in recent years. Born into chaos, manipulated by her great-aunt Jordan, and weaponized against the Newman family, Claire's early days in Genoa City were filled with mistrust and suspicion. She was written off by many as just another villainess in the making, another figure destined to fall by Victor Newman's hand. But against all odds, Claire has charted a new course. Through therapy, self-reflection, and genuine attempts to forge connections with her family, she has begun the slow process of redemption. This has endeared her to some, while others remain skeptical. And now, with this bold move, Claire is stepping into her own power, whether Genoa City is ready for it or not. So what exactly is this bold move? The answer depends on who you ask. To some, Claire's bold move could be her decision to step fully into the Newman legacy, claiming her place at the family table and demanding respect from Victor, Nikki, Nick, and Victoria. For too long, Claire has been treated as a fragile outsider, a girl trying to make amends for sins she was manipulated into committing. But Claire may be ready to prove that she is not just a victim of circumstance, she is a Newman, with the intelligence, resilience, and cunning to hold her own. Imagine Claire walking into Newman Enterprises, not as a visitor or a guest, but as an heir ready to carve out her share of the empire. That would certainly be a bold move, one that could ignite tension with Victoria and Nick, while forcing Victor to reassess his granddaughter's role in the dynasty. Others believe Claire's bold move has less to do with business and more to do with her personal life. Romance has been a largely unexplored territory for Claire, given her focus on recovery and rebuilding her life. But what if her bold move involves opening her heart, daring to pursue a relationship despite the baggage of her past? Genoa City thrives on young love stories, especially when they are complicated by family drama and scandal. Could Claire find herself drawn to someone unexpected, like Kyle Abbott, who knows a thing or two about family pressure and the weight of legacy? If Claire makes a move toward romance, it will not only spark new possibilities for her character but also weave her deeper into the fabric of Genoa City's tangled web of relationships. There is also the possibility that Claire's bold move is not about embracing the Newman legacy at all, but rejecting it. Fans have speculated that Claire may decide to step away from her family's influence, proving that she can stand on her own 2 feet without the Newman name as her safety net. Such a decision would be shocking, especially to Nikki, who has worked tirelessly to build a bond with her granddaughter. Walking away from the Newman family could be seen as both an act of independence and defiance, a way of telling the world that Claire Grace Newman refuses to be defined by her bloodline. That kind of bold move would carry heartbreak for Nikki and fury from Victor, who does not take rejection lightly. Business intrigue could also play a major role. Claire, with her fresh perspective and willingness to think outside the box, might step into the cutthroat world of corporate maneuvering. Could she align herself with Chancellor Winters, using her connections to Devon and Lily to carve out a future separate from Newman Enterprises? Or perhaps she might surprise everyone by partnering with a wild card like Audra Charles, turning what could have been a rivalry into a collaboration. A bold business move from Claire would certainly rattle the boardrooms of Genoa City and cement her as a player in her own right. What makes Claire's bold move so fascinating is not just the act itself but the emotional layers behind it. This is a young woman who has carried shame, guilt, and insecurity from her past actions. Every step she takes now is an act of courage. The very fact that she is willing to risk rejection, criticism, or even failure proves just how far she has come since her arrival in Genoa City. This move is not about proving something to others, it's about proving something to herself. For Claire, boldness means healing, growth, and taking control of her narrative for the first time in her life. The reactions from Genoa City's power players will, of course, be explosive. If Claire asserts herself in the Newman family, Victoria may feel threatened. As a mother and a powerhouse executive, Victoria has fought long and hard for her position, and the idea of her niece suddenly rising within the ranks could spark jealousy and tension. Nick, ever the protector, may be torn between supporting Claire and questioning whether she is truly ready for such responsibility. Nikki, whose bond with Claire has been one of the most heartwarming aspects of the storyline, may find herself caught in the middle, wanting to encourage her granddaughter while fearing that boldness could lead to downfall. And then there is Victor, the patriarch whose approval remains the ultimate prize. If Claire makes her bold move in front of him, how he responds will set the tone for her entire future. Will he see her as a valuable Newman asset, or as a threat that needs to be controlled? The audience reaction to Claire's evolution has been intense. Some fans root passionately for her redemption, arguing that she deserves the chance to grow beyond the mistakes forced upon her. Others remain suspicious, certain that the apple never falls far from the tree and that Claire could easily relapse into darker behaviors. A bold move at this stage could tip the scales either way, cementing her as a heroine in the making or setting her up for a dramatic fall from grace. Either way, the intrigue is irresistible. One thing is certain, Claire Grace Newman's bold move will not happen in a vacuum. The ripple effects will extend across Genoa City, touching the Abbotts, the Newmans, the Chancellors, and even unexpected characters on the periphery. If her boldness takes the form of love, rivalries could ignite. If it takes the form of business, alliances will be tested. If it takes the form of independence, hearts will be broken. And through it all, viewers will be reminded that in a world where history often repeats itself, boldness is the only way. The Young and the Restless, Jill Abbott's discovery. In the ever-twisting world of Genoa City, where secrets bubble beneath the surface and power struggles dictate the moves of its wealthiest families, one name always commands attention: Jill Abbott. The formidable matriarch of the Chancellor Winter's empire has weathered decades of betrayal, heartbreak, and shocking revelations. Yet just when fans think Jill has seen it all, she finds herself at the center of yet another earth-shattering turn. Jill Abbott's discovery promises to shake Genoa City to its core, with ripple effects that will touch nearly every household in town. The question now isn't just what Jill has uncovered, but how she plans to wield this knowledge in a city where information is power, and power is everything. Jill has always prided herself on being sharp, intuitive, and unafraid to dig for the truth. Whether it was her early battles with Catherine Chancellor, her romantic entanglements, or her ability to rise in the corporate world, Jill has never allowed herself to be blindsided for long. But this time, it isn't just her instincts guiding her, it's cold, hard evidence. This discovery didn't simply fall into her lap, it came after weeks of suspicion, hushed whispers, and a determination to get to the bottom of matters that others were too afraid to confront. Genoa City insiders say Jill stumbled upon something that could alter the balance of power between the Abbotts, the Newmans, and the Chancellors. Speculation runs wild. Did Jill uncover a corporate betrayal inside Chancellor Winters? The company has been a battleground of secrets and ambitions, with Billy Abbott, Devon Hamilton, and Lily Winters each carrying their own agendas. If Jill has found proof that someone has been sabotaging the company from within, it could ignite a corporate war unlike any other. Jill has always been protective of her legacy and fiercely loyal to Chancellor, and if she learns that her family or trusted colleagues are being undermined, she won't hesitate to strike back. Fans know Jill's wrath is not to be underestimated. But perhaps this discovery is far more personal than business. Jill has been through countless romantic heartbreaks and family betrayals. She's a woman who knows that family secrets have a way of resurfacing when least expected. Could Jill's discovery involve a shocking paternity twist? Maybe an old flame resurgent? The whispers are that Jill may have come across documents, photos, or a confession that ties someone she loves to a dark past. If this discovery has anything to do with her son Billy, then Genoa City could be in for one of its most dramatic mother-son showdowns in years. Jill has spent much of her life cleaning up Billy's messes, defending him when the world turned its back, and trying to guide him even when he resisted. But if Jill finds out Billy has crossed a line that cannot be excused, her reaction will cut deeper than any corporate fallout ever could. Another possibility is that Jill has unearthed information involving the Abbotts. Though Jill and Jack Abbott have shared a complicated and tumultuous relationship, there remains a bond of family and history between them. If Jill has discovered a truth that Jack has been hiding, or worse, that Diane Jenkins has been manipulating, this could reignite one of Genoa City's most legendary rivalries. Jill has never trusted Diane fully, and if her discovery points to Diane pulling strings behind Jack's back, fans can expect Jill to march into Abbott Manor with fire in her eyes and evidence in her hand. There's also the intriguing angle of Jill and Victor Newman. These two titans have crossed paths countless times, each testing the other's limits. If Jill's discovery connects back to Victor or Newman Enterprises, then Genoa City could be looking at yet another corporate collision between Chancellor Winters and Newman. Victor thrives on control, but Jill is one of the few who dares to look him in the eye and refuse to bow. Imagine the fireworks if Jill holds a piece of information that Victor desperately wants to keep buried. The fallout could stretch from the Newman boardroom to Chancellor headquarters and leave Nick, Victoria, and Adam caught in the crossfire. Emotionally, Jill's discovery also highlights her humanity. Though she is often portrayed as a tough-as-nails businesswoman, at her core Jill is a mother, a woman who has loved and lost, and someone who has fought harder than most for her place in the world. This discovery could force Jill to confront her own past as well as the choices she has made. Viewers love when Jill's layers are peeled back, when her vulnerability shines through the cracks in her armor. Whether she's confronting betrayal, mourning lost time, or reclaiming her power, Jill Abbott's emotional journey resonates with fans who have watched her evolve for decades. Of course, the Genoa City rumor mill is already spinning. Social media buzzes with fan theories about Jill's discovery. Some believe she's found proof that someone at Chancellor Winters has been embezzling funds. Others are convinced she has uncovered a long-lost family connection, possibly even a secret child that ties the Abbotts and the Chancellors closer than ever. And a more daring theory suggests that Jill may have stumbled onto something criminal, like evidence of foul play in one of the many mysterious incidents that have plagued Genoa City. One thing is certain, Jill Abbott never makes a move without a plan. Her discovery will not remain a secret for long. She will decide carefully who to confide in, who to confront, and how to leverage what she knows. If she chooses to use this information to strengthen Chancellor Winters, then Billy, Devon, and Lily will need to brace themselves for a new order. If she uses it to take down an enemy, then Jack, Victor, or Diane may find themselves scrambling to contain the damage. And if her discovery is personal, then fans should ready themselves for the kind of raw, emotional drama that Jill delivers better than anyone. The legacy of Jill Abbott has always been about resilience, survival, and her refusal to be underestimated. This discovery is just the latest reminder that Jill is a force who cannot be ignored. As she prepares to reveal, or conceal, what she has learned, Genoa City holds its breath. Because when Jill Abbott makes a discovery, it isn't just news. It's a game changer. The Young and the Restless spoilers Monday, September 29th, visiting Noah, Victor's trap, Claire's bold move. Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Monday, September 29, 2025. In the next episode, fans can expect Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, to set a trap for Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn. Meanwhile, Claire makes a bold move. Plus, Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, and Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, make plans to visit Noah Newman, Lucas Adams. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Make sure to check out our weekly Y&R spoilers, here. Sally Spectra reaches out. Let's start off with Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope. A weekly preview clip shows Sally getting on her computer at the park to video chat with Jill. The redhead declares that she is in love with Billy. However, as much as Jill loves her son, could she worry about Sally's future? She forgave him a bit quickly for everything he's done. The only reason he's changing direction now is because Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, kicked him to the curb. While Billy claims he wants to do business with Sally again, what happens the next time a deal pops up? What is this? Read more, find out what happened on the last episode of Y&R. Jill Abbott's discovery. While Jill loves her son, things haven't been good between them for a while now. Billy still blames Jill for selling the company to Victor right out from under him. However, fans know that at the time, Jill was dealing with heart issues, and Billy kept making questionable choices. Sally might update Jill on the Kane situation as well as what happened with the big launch. The Young and the Restless, Sally Spectra reaches out. Genoa City is never short of drama, and one character who constantly finds herself at the center of storms is Sally Spectra. Bold, ambitious, and fiery, Sally has left an indelible mark on the canvas since she first set foot in town. Now, whispers around the Newman Towers and murmurs from Crimson Light suggest that Sally may be preparing for one of her most vulnerable yet powerful moves to date, reaching out. But the question looms, who exactly is Sally reaching out to, and what consequences will unfold once she extends her hand? This turning point in Sally's storyline is not just about her relationships but also her fight for identity, redemption, and perhaps even survival in a city where alliances shift daily and enemies lurk behind every polished smile. For months, Sally has found herself caught in the crossfires of both personal heartbreak and professional struggles. From her romance with Adam Newman that left fans swooning to her complicated connection with Nick Newman, her heart has been a battlefield. Add in the emotional trauma of losing her unborn child, a devastating chapter that left both Adam and Sally shattered, and it becomes clear that Sally is carrying pain she has yet to fully address. But true to her nature, Sally never stays down for long. Genoa City watchers know she's always searching for her next move, her next chance to reassert control, and her next opportunity to prove that she belongs. And now, the act of reaching out could mark the start of Sally rewriting her destiny. But what does reaching out mean for a woman like Sally? To some, it might look like her turning to Adam once more, perhaps testing whether the spark that burned so intensely between them can be reignited. Their connection was passionate and messy, defined by love, regret, and tragic loss. Adam remains a shadow in Sally's life, no matter how much she tries to move forward. Every time they share a glance, a whispered conversation, or a lingering moment of silence, the possibility of reconciliation hovers. If Sally does reach out to Adam, it could shake the Newman family to its core. Victor Newman has made it no secret that he disapproves of Sally, and the prospect of her reattaching herself to Adam would no doubt ignite a fresh round of battles between Victor and his son. On the other hand, Sally reaching out could mean her looking toward Nick Newman again. Nick was her safe haven when everything else in her world seemed chaotic. While their relationship lacked the wild fire of what she shared with Adam, it gave her stability, comfort, and respect. Nick saw Sally as more than just the schemer her reputation suggests, he viewed her as a woman worth fighting for. Their romance ended quietly, but there's always been a sense that the door wasn't fully closed. Could Sally be reaching out to Nick in an attempt to reconnect with a man who offered her peace when she needed it most? If so, this could create a love triangle revival, dragging Adam, Nick, and Sally into a storm that Genoa City gossipers will feast on. And yet, Sally's decision to reach out may not be about romance at all. In fact, this could be about business, ambition, and her desire to re-establish herself as a creative powerhouse in Genoa City. Let's not forget Sally's roots. She is a designer, a woman with vision, and someone who has always dreamed of leaving her mark in the fashion industry. Though she's stumbled, fallen, and even been sabotaged, Sally's ambition burns as hot as ever. She might be reaching out to Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, a woman who could provide her with the support and partnership she needs to thrive in the cutthroat world of fashion and retail. Lauren has always had an eye for talent, and despite their rocky history, she knows Sally has potential. If Sally takes this route, we could be witnessing the rebirth of her career. Another intriguing possibility is that Sally is reaching out to someone unexpected, someone outside of her usual circle, as a means of forging a surprising new alliance. Could she extend her hand to Sharon Rosales, perhaps offering a partnership on a project that blends design, business, and the kind of innovation Genoa City hasn't seen before? Sharon, always open to second chances and reinvention, could be the ally Sally never knew she needed. And then there's Chelsea Lawson, a fellow designer and a woman who has walked her own path of redemption. Imagine Sally and Chelsea setting aside their differences to collaborate. Two creative forces joining together could rattle competitors and set the stage for a major shakeup in town. Of course, not everyone in Genoa City would welcome Sally's act of reaching out. Phyllis Summers, for one, has never been Sally's biggest fan. To Phyllis, Sally represents chaos, destruction, and a younger version of herself that she would rather not acknowledge. If Sally reaches out to someone Phyllis disapproves of, expect fireworks to follow. Phyllis has a way of inserting herself into situations, stirring the pot, and ensuring that the last word belongs to her. The possibility of Phyllis standing in Sally's way could escalate into yet another rivalry, one that could dominate the canvas for months. But the emotional heart of this storyline lies in Sally herself. For a woman who prides herself on being independent, strong-willed, and unapologetically bold, the act of reaching out is monumental. It means admitting she cannot face everything alone. It means showing vulnerability, something Sally has always been reluctant to do. It means acknowledging that she has cracks in her armor, scars that ache, and wounds that still bleed. In a way, this could be Sally's most humanizing moment to date, a way to truly